We got to talk about these. Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush summary discussion video. It is currently, well, I don't want to say how late it is, but it's very late at night. These summaries have just dropped. I've thought about them for about an hour before turning on that record button, and holy shit, it looks like we just got mostly confirmation that Yugioh, our Yugioh, the one from Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, is in fact that character that we've been seeing, the character that created fusions to try to stop the Lug, the character working in that laboratory that gave Gohei Yuna, we would imagine, Seven Sword Magician, that definitely gave Udius the dual disc. These summaries are crazy. I know I've already spoiled a lot, but if you don't want proper spoilers, you probably want to click off this video right now. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So I will quickly read the episode 37 summary again for you guys. We got the 38 and 39 summaries as well. There is no episode on January 1st, so for that reason, we did not get the 40 summary, just the 40 title. But keep in mind, 38 and 39 are ending arc number 3. We would imagine season 1 is going to end, much like it did with 7s, at episode 52. So episode 37 is airing tomorrow if you're watching this on Friday. Dark Yugioh. Yugioh is posing as the Great King's subordinate in order to infiltrate his ship and obtain his power. He boasts that he will use any means in order to obtain more power. Unable to tolerate Yugioh's ruthlessness, Yuhi challenges him to a friendship duel. So, yada yada yada, we've already talked about that. Here's where things get crazy. Episode 38, we've been wondering for a while, what's going to be the finale duel for this arc? We all figured probably the Lug versus Udius. That seemed to be the obvious choice. It seemed like that was the road they were going down. And if you guessed that, you were mostly right, but there's a twist. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another 2v1 duel coming up. Episode 38, the Lug. The Lug releases a massive amount of negative energy, which can potentially engulf the whole universe. Gohei Yuna and Udius team up in order to bring the Lug to justice for all the terror he's caused. Thus begins a tag rush duel with the peace of the whole universe on the line. So some massive stakes here, and Gohei Yuna and Udius, after the episode 20 or 21 duel, I can't remember which episode it was, would have been the last team that I thought we were going to be getting, especially in season 1, for a 2v1 duel, considering how much animosity there seemed to be between the two, especially Gohei Yuna towards Udius for having that dual disc, for having that 7-style dual disc, and Gohei Yuna, of course, giving Udius his only loss of the show, right? That's the only time Udius has lost. So Gohei Yuna has not lost yet. So this is a pretty strong team here taking on the Lug with pretty high stakes, which we don't necessarily see all the time in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush episode, or in Studio Bridge Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. You don't usually see the peace of the whole universe being on the line in these sorts of duels. So that is really cool. We're getting some pretty insane stakes here at the end. But episode 39 is where people are going to be losing their minds, I'm sure. And the comment section will surely be ablaze with theories and thoughts. And I can't wait. I live for it. Episode 39, the boy from the future. Something abnormal happens to Yuna during the duel with the Lug, but she is saved by a boy. He's the same boy who once entrusted Udius with a dual disc and some cards. In order to turn the duel around, the boy from the future takes over for Yuna and fights alongside Udius against the Lug. If you've believed that this boy is Yugioh from 7s and he was sent here after the hyperspace with Otis and this is where he was in those last 2 years, we're getting a Yugioh duel in 2 weeks. Holy shoot. I mean, if you told me, and again, we don't know there's a lot to dissect here. First of all, Yugioh being from the future, this actually being Yugioh. But if you told me, if you believe this is Yugioh, which I do, the Yugioh from 7s and not a variant, if you told me that at some point in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, we were going to get a duel where Udius teams up with our Yuga against an evilish Luke variant called the Great King of Terror with the piece of the whole universe on the line, I would have said, oh, I guess that's how the show ends. That's how this whole show ends. A duel of that magnitude, there's no way that wouldn't have been how they ended the show, or at least how they ended season 1. We are getting a massive duel like this with huge ramifications to end the 3rd arc. This isn't even a season 1 finale duel. This isn't even a finale duel. This is an arc finale duel. It's a random arc finale duel. And not to downplay the importance of arc finale duels, but given the star power that's in this duel, and of course Gohei Yuna starting it with Seven's Road Magician, I mean, Yuga's probably going to walk in and just take over Gohei Yuna's deck, because it's the deck that he's used and he's familiar with and probably built somewhat for Gohei Yuna. So this is absolutely insane. And then, of course, this arc comes to an end. There's no episode on January 1st. Episode 40 is titled Kojo Dojo. We don't really know anything about that episode, so I'm not going to really focus on it. I just want to keep this within the spectrum of the 3rd arc here. Man, this is just nuts. And this summary also implies that Yuga is from the future, which that would mean that Go Rush is a prequel. Can already hear Calibro's annoying laughter. He's been saying that since day one. A prequel? Is that what's being implied here? There's no way. I mean, what I believe could be happening here is, let's say Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s took place in the year 2020, just for argument's sake. Yuga takes this hyperspace, and he travels back to 1950 on an alternate timeline, right? And Go Rush and 7s are alternate timelines. So 2 things can be true. 7s, time-wise, is ahead of Go Rush, but it's not really a direct sequel to Go Rush. Because if 7s is a direct sequel, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. That would mean that Rush Duels already existed. So did Yuga, like, rip off the idea that Goha created in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush here? Because Goha's credited for creating Rush Duels in Go Rush. But does Goha in this universe only know about Rush Duels because Yuga brought Rush Duels to this universe? That could very well be true. And I don't think Yuga would, like, lie like that in 7s, you know? That doesn't really fit his character. So it doesn't really make sense for it to be a direct correlation. And Yuga may just say that he's a boy from the future. And maybe he believes that he's from the future because Rush Duels didn't exist in this universe. So how on earth could I be going to the future if Rush Duels no longer exist? You know what I mean? So maybe for that reason, Yuga thinks it's the same timeline, and he told everyone he's from the future, even though he's from a completely different timeline. So there's a lot to just take from that, but wow. The other thing that's kind of interesting is what abnormality happens to Gohei Yuna where she can't continue. Remember, there was an abnormality that happened to Yuga when he dueled against Gohei Yuga, and Luke had to take over for him. So we've seen that before in this universe, in the Rush anime, where a character can't continue. We've also seen that throughout Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, and another character has to step up and take the place of him. Ironic that it was Luke taking the place of Yuga against a Goha member. In this duel, it's Yuga taking the place of a Goha character against a Luke variant. So there's like a weird triangle there, even a little bit of a reference to 7s, and that duel between Gohei Yuga and Yuga, which then turned into Gohei Yuga versus Luke. So I don't know if that's what they're kind of maybe alluding to there a little bit, like a little bit of an Easter egg. Very well could be, but I'm interested to see what happens to Gohei Yuna, and it's cool that her and Udius are even teaming up in the first place. But man, this is so freaking cool. I mean, I keep thinking about it. When have we had the privilege of seeing 2 Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonists teaming up and dueling against a villain who's also the main rival or best friend character from the previous show? I mean, that would be like Yugi and Judai teaming up to verse an evil Joey variant that existed in GX. Or Playmaker and Yuya teaming up to verse, like, an Akaba Reiji evil character. Like, any of those duels sound insane, and we are literally getting that in the very next duel after Yugioh versus Yugi, which also should be a really good duel. So this is absolutely insane. I cannot freaking wait to see how they wrap up the arc. Certainly a lot of questions. I'm surprised we're getting this Yugioh character so early. I thought we were going to be getting him at the end of the season, not the end of this arc. But here we go, man. Bring it on. I can't freaking wait. Guys, let me know all your thoughts on these monstrous summaries down below in the comments. I am very much looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And yeah, let's go, baby. This should be a really, really good end to arc number 3. Thank you guys all so much for watching. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patron, Panther J, to my Diamond tier patrons, Latrell Smith and Jesse Woods, and to my Egyptian God tier patron, Pink Penguin. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon and whoever is a YouTube channel member. You guys help me out so much. And if you want some exclusive channel perks, definitely check out both of those sites and features. Be sure to check out my channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime content. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.